and I think you got something really cool for us here, a little demonstration of what that would look like. So, this is and it's one of those things where I think we're going to ruin it for everybody because, like, once you see the difference, you can't unsee it, right? And so it's like those things that you, like, subtly notice, which is all those lines going across 98, right there by the turnoff for the beach, right? You just kind of get used to it and don't think about it. But the possibility of having all of that,
it's just amazing. Yeah,
there it is.
It opens up the view, your view for
really
your
does.
Drivers and pedestrians, and then of course we have
shrink our video here so people can really see it.
And of course we have a really active hurricane season here, so safing up those power lines is extremely important. Yeah.
How did the city of Gulf Breeze go about this, and how would a city of Navarre tackle this? Yeah.
So the City of Gulf Breezes, the initial phase that we're doing is funded through the CRA, so the Community Redevelopment Agency.
That is a huge piece.
And that is something that a municipality would need to establish and advocate for. The county can't really establish one for us. So it is funded through their CRA, and then they go through the whole process of getting a feasibility study done on it, and then implementing the construction for this kind of a project.
Yeah. That's the access to those grants we started the show talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is being able to identify projects and then being able to marshal the resources. So again, how can we use existing tax revenue versus raising it to get something like this?
And there's FEMA resources that are available for things like this as well.
Yeah,
so.
No. Excellent Photoshop work. I gotta tell you, as someone who uses Adobe products all the time, including right now, that's excellent Photoshop work. As you see, and I'll show you guys one more time the difference. I mean, this is exactly the kind of projects that we would want to see, is being able to bury those power lines and be able to help out residents that are close to the water in the event that there is another hurricane, which we know is coming. To be able to do stuff like that, the other stormwater mitigation that you talked about, I think would be fantastic. It really comes down to what are the examples of this working, and can we repeat those here? Because that is such a big challenge of having a focused plan. The other thing is having the credibility to actually execute that plan, right? Is like you could that's I think is kind of my last question for you, is you can have the best plans ever. I mean, we've had some good ones come through, the Boulevard being one. And then it just kind of falls through and becomes Elevate. Now it's residential, and people are frustrated that they're not getting. And I think that's their concern with us a lot of times, is as a group, you're out here proposing all this stuff. Oh, yeah, sure. Buried power lines and stormwater, all that sounds great. But how do we as a team establish the credibility and trust to say, not only is this a great plan, but we also are going to ensure it happens, to the best of our ability. Well, that's a tough one.
It is. I think you guys have laid the groundwork for it really well, especially with the surveys, asking the residents what is it they want, and beyond just, do you want to incorporate, but what are your critical issues where you live? Like, are you having issues with flooding? Are you having issues with whatever it may be? There's so many issues that could be brought up, but I think laying the groundwork even prior to incorporating, by sending out these surveys and getting some really good feedback, just really helps get a plan in place for what projects need to be prioritized.
It really is. It's extremely helpful to us, and then having people like yourself, like that's really why I love having you on the show, is because you bring a certain perspective that I would never have. Like, military stuff can totally meet you there. But when you're, I'll go back to your resume here and kind of the stuff that you've talked about, is with that experience, I mean, that truly is unique. And that's the kind of people that we would need, in the cities, people who can bring that kind of experience and then apply those same things here. Because that's a credibility, that very few people have, I would say. We have a lot of military folks. We have a lot of, folks from different parts of the country, but I haven't seen many folks that have this level of experience with municipal city government, right, and demonstrated success in several projects, which are still achieving success today. So